Highlights from this season. Oh.
Welcome to the very 13th episode of BriightCast. It's the season finale, guys.
Yeah, 13.
Unlucky for some.
Don't worry about the start, though, because it's the ending here that really matters, guys.
Yeah, we're focusing on CTAs, how to end marketing campaigns, what to do at the end of those.
Creating unforgettable endings.
Creating unforgettable endings.
To campaigns. And on that note of like strong endings and stuff, we're going to bring back the Bring a Thing, just because I think it's better. And it's a bit more open than the What Have You Been On? Because we bring a lot of stuff to the studio in terms of like ideas, inspiration, things we've watched, things we've experienced or something. And I think they're better in terms of like insights than just what have we been on.
Yeah, they normally tie to what we're on anyway, and they're normally inspiring, aren't they?
So on that note, Rob, do you want to kick us off? What's the thing you done brung?
Well, mine's actually tied to what I've been on, but it was actually last week. Had a meeting with a new client who I think are going to go for some Google ads and some follow-up marketing stuff, and they have a real big competitor that dominates their field. We like ambition, we like people to want to lead their industry, but normally it's when there's no real like out-and-out leader, but with this company there is. So it was a bit of underdog storytelling and trying to get them to be the alternative. Basically, you think of this company first, but then what's the alternative? And it's positioning these people, because what they do is the same service, but their USPs will counteract and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, so on my mind, really, is a different form of storytelling or a different plot line, I guess. And it's, the great underdog story.
Dodgeball,
one of our, that helped form one of our core values here.
One of our core values, yeah. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
What did you bring in, Drew?
So, yeah, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I'm bringing in the bear.
Okay.
Great storytelling.
No spoilers, though, please.
No, okay, my spoiler-free, this is what I've brought.
Is it the bear in the Chinese zoo that people think is a human?
Oh, it's definitely just a man in a costume.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's not that, but that is also great. No, it's the Bear TV show. It's the thing that I've been watching a lot recently. We've watched it loads here, season 1, but season 2 watched at home. You still need to watch season 2, don't you, Jess?
Yeah.
But it's just amazing. And no spoilers, but there's a lot of cameos.
Yeah.
Okay, you probably know that already.
Yeah.
A lot of their marketing's been around their cameos.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And yeah, it just got me thinking about BriightCast season 3, because that's going to be our Bear season 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to come back with a bit of a guest list of cameos, aren't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
guys, I haven't brought anything. I just randomly said the bear.
We'll not announce them, but they're pretty big players, really, in the the marketing field, and people we just find interesting. And there's certain topics we want to talk about, especially in the wake of changing landscapes, AI, and all of that.
Yeah.
And it's it's smart people who are going to give good insights on it and make good episodes.
Yeah, but also the bear, just great storytelling, great visual storytelling.
Yeah.
Great editing, really, really well put together. One of those bits of content that isn't anything to do with what we do, but it's like super inspirational, kind of makes us want to create more content.
Yeah.
Similar to when Bo Burnham's Inside Netflix special came out.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with what we do at all, but just a great piece of like visual art, really.
Yeah.
To put it on that high pedestal.
Yeah, just executed really well, unique perspective on things. It doesn't seem like it when you're watching it, but then when you break it down, you're like, well, that's the reason it hits so much harder, because, it's doing things differently.
Great storytelling.
So mine's also similar to kind of what I've been working on. I've just been looking out recently for good pieces of copywriting.
Mm-hmm.
And in line with that, we've been creating a load of new ads for existing clients and as well for some new clients that have recently joined us, some new Google ads. It's just kind of looking at how boring some people's Google ads are.
Yeah.
And how much room there still is for people to make their mark within Google ads. I think a lot of people think they need to just have that keyword and variations of that keyword rather than standing out. They kind of forget.
Google does sort of force you down that road, doesn't it? With its quality score that's just so basic, but you got to play a bit of that game.
I guess it's also, something that we kind of had to have conversations about with clients, because it's like, oh, some of them are excellent, but some of them are good.
Yeah.
And our ads are optimized to perform. But at the same time, Google want you to just have that sort of keyword iterations that only mention things that are on the landing page, which does help the quality score and does help push the ads. But you also have to balance that with standing out and making the ads clickable.
Yeah.
And standing out amongst the competitors. So say if you're searching for a construction agency, if you all have construction agency as your sort of first headline, there's no differential. There's no reason people should be clicking on you. So just been doing a lot of research into good copywriting.
Yeah.
You can never have too much inspiration, I think, when it comes to copywriting. There's always something you could be learning from and some piece of copy that you could take inspiration from. But that's my bringer thing / what I've been on.
Don't let ChatGPT tell you to unleash this.
Yeah.
Strap in. All of it feeds into this main topic, really. So let's get started, shall we? So it's all about creating unforgettable endings to campaigns. So ending on a high, ending with a bang.
Yeah. And I guess the most simplest form, what we have at the top is CTAs, right? So you put in a post out, you put in an ad out, a video marketing piece out. What's the CTA in there? And it's the changing nature of it. So for ages, I've been really wanting to shake up how people write CTAs, because everyone defaults to find out more, learn more, read more. And it's how to do a unique spin on that, whilst also actually saying what you want to say, which is find out more.
Yeah.
Or read more.
Yeah.
It's quite a difficult thing. But then there's been some changes in the video world. Real big awareness pieces is short form content that loops. So you don't really put a CTA in there, do you?
Or if you do, it's kind of hidden within it, potentially.
Yeah.
Hidden before you get to that loop. Maybe it's at the start, maybe it's in the middle.
Yeah.
I think CTAs is a good one because it's really simple. It's a really simple point to make. And they're done incorrectly so many times. I think it's quite easy to give tips on how to do them well.
Yeah.
Like it stands for call to action, if people don't know. It has to be a call to action.
Yeah.
But a lot of people think it's a crap text edition.
Yeah.
Because they just add some random text at the end and think that's a CTA.
We also have the problem with a lot of our clients where they try and CTA stuff. They try and stuff as many CTAs as they can within a piece of content. And we spoke about it previously where they have mixed messaging and things like that. But it's visit our website or call us or email us or visit this landing page or do this or visit this QR code. Yeah. And there's so many things happening where they're just not going to do anything at that point.
Yeah. So in that case, then it's if we're going to go into the what don't you do for a CTA, number one then is don't stuff it full of things.
No.
Yeah.
No. What is the whole point of it is a CTA is it's meant to be this really, really clear, strong call to action right at the end of a video.
Yeah.
That has something to do with the video. Otherwise you get that disconnect and people will be wondering what's going on between the CTA and the main video, so probably won't act on it, even if your wording is impeccable.
Yeah.
Another thing is just keep it. If you just have one CTA, make sure you keep it on target. Make sure you keep it focused. We've had loads where it could be a factory that makes packaging, for instance.
Yeah.
And it's all about an awareness piece for them to put out to people to try and get more work. Yeah. But at the end of it, they randomly mention what the CEO's qualifications are.
Right, yeah.
We had that ages ago where it was a similar thing and they literally had we want this CTA where it has this qualification that this person has.
Yeah.
And then maybe an award that we won for this. And none of it's to do with the actual purpose of a video.
No.
So it's just random CTAs. It's not focused. Yeah. It's not on message.
Yeah.
And so they're useless.
I think what will help people focus is when you think about where's the content going, right? So, if it's a social post, is it on a platform where people can click straight through?
Yeah.
If so, you can do a more direct thing. It's really nice if you make things just searchable. If you search this.
I was just about to say there's a real opportunity, and it's the importance of owning certain keywords.
Yeah.
So say, I've seen it on Sky Vans recently where they have I can't remember what the phrase was, but instead of having a URL, Because realistically, we have this debate internally and with clients as well, where they have like long domains on the end of their video. And it's kind of thinking how many people, and even how many people listening, would realistically take that video and type in that URL. And it's like you say with social, yes, you'd probably have it in the comments or the post. But owning a keyword is super crucial for stuff like that. Because
if they can't click through right there and then, so, you know, a Sky van is a perfect example. They can remember, search lightning fast broadband. And it'll come up or whatever it is. And it's not just the platforms. It's about considering what people do next, what you want them to do next, isn't it? Because it's not just, you know, everyone will think, I want them to go to the website. But it's not. It's about challenging clients when they say that. What do you want them to do when they're there? You know, if it's to download a guide, if they're watching a video clip and it's like, oh, let's see the breakdown of this, or there's a longer form video or series that they can dive into. That helps you come up with a better CTA for that original post, because it actually is giving them a next step, and it will be a unique next step, not just find out more, you know, learn more.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times call to actions are an afterthought. And because of that, they don't really have that, like the journey from watching the video to the end goal of why they've even had the video commissioned in the first place isn't necessarily thought out. So I think they really need to know that journey for where that viewer is going to go next. And if they don't have that in mind, it's quite difficult to create a really powerful, impactful CTA. Even down to like, it's like, you know, how long is the CTA on screen for? What are you showing? If you're showing a link, is it an easy to use link? Like sometimes you'll get people and they'll send you the link and it's http ://www. A massive URL with several forward slashes and all sorts of stuff at the end. That's no good for anybody.
No.
Like making all of that easy to use, easy to digest goes into that question of where do you want people to go with it? What do you want them to do with it?
And that's a good point. And it reminds me of putting CTAs, it's not just at the end. You can have in-body links to text. They work really well in newsletters that guide them to different places. And it might not serve your main CTA, but I mean, it's great if it does, but it might just be extra information and it's another way of coming at it. And then that CTA is the same as this one that you get to. And it works really well within web pages as well. Your internal links linking through and guiding people around the web page a bit, because people don't consider that. And it's really powerful user journey stuff as well.
Something I'd say about the newsletter is the internal body links are great, but the tip is kind of to keep it, like you say, on topic, because we've seen clients before where they try and again stuff random links in, but then because they're clicking away so much, they're not actually getting to that final CTA, which means the content you're producing, the CTA is irrelevant at that point because you've already asked them to click on 5 different blog posts, which are meaningless, really, to that end user.
It's more just skipping the journey. If someone reads that first sentence and they're ready to go and read the guide or download the ebook or whatever, then there's no, like, have it there ready for them, you know, within the text. But then if they read it all and it goes to there as well, that's still great, isn't it?
It's also the copywriting of those CTAs, because you can kind of have softer CTAs, especially within written pieces like that, softer CTAs within the body, and then have your harder core CTA at the bottom. And they could be the same link. It's just sort of having, like you say, those two-prong approach.
People still use like and subscribe, you know. Can that language be updated, or is that so embedded in the culture of YouTube channels, podcasting?
I think the like and subscribe thing is a good example of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I think you can sometimes overthink CTAs as well. Like sometimes things just work, and I get that we want to do things differently and differentiate and like push things. But sometimes they just work. So like just do those things. So for the like and subscribe thing on YouTube, for instance, it's a really good thing, and you see all channels of all sizes using it because they constantly have to keep saying it, because even just saying the words like and subscribe, for instance, head over to www.youtube.com/wearebright or search Bright with 2 eyes on YouTube.
Or if you're watching this on YouTube,
just like and subscribe.
Just like and subscribe. You're already there.
You're already there. But I think saying all of that in your videos will give you a more positive reaction than if you just think, oh, they're already here. If they like the content, they'll do something with it. Or thinking, Could I say other things around it? I think you can just say that. I think you can get to those points in different ways.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that's the message. Deliver that message.
You don't need to clutter that, and it needs to be very direct. You want them to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
It's not like with a normal CTA where there are different options available to you if you're in a post, newsletter, website, whatever. And in those instances, you just want to be unique, and you want it to make sense within your marketing funnel, because that will be the bit where people will be compelled to go on.
Yeah.
No one's clicking find out more, read more, really. They might do if they're really connected to the content, but you guarantee with a better CTA, you're getting more people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wanting more.
So experiment with your copy, focus on your messaging, keep your messaging tight.
Yeah.
Don't stuff your CTAs like you said, Jess.
Yeah.
But okay, it's not just about CTAs.
No.
CTAs are really important, but they're not the be all and end all of endings.
Unbelievable endings is what this pod's about.
But let's chat through impactful endings for campaigns. So this could be a full campaign. It could be a single piece of content that's like capping off a campaign.
Yeah.
It could even be a single piece of content that's within a campaign, but it's the great ending of that.
Yeah.
So I think a good example would be to chat through like twist endings. So where we see campaigns where there's a twist to it.
Yeah.
And there's been a really popular one recently, and I can't remember which one of you showed it me, but it was the Women's World Cup one.
Yes, yeah. It was a really clever one.
Yeah.
France team, you're watching these goals be scored. You think it's Mbappe, Griezmann, but then twist. And the twist came quite late on.
Yeah.
But you realise, oh no, it's actually the women's squad for France. These great goals. And they'd comped on Mbappe and Griezmann and that. So a really clever way of sort of breaking down that barrier that they see.
Challenging people as well.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was amazing. But it was very, very impactful. And obviously it did the rounds on the socials that week, didn't it? Because it was one of those impactful pieces.
Yeah.
I know it didn't happen at the end, but it was obviously quite far into the campaign, and it left you with that. It left you with a big impact because of that twist.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder if part of it was a bit of anticipation as well, which is another type of not twist, but a way of setting up a good ending is like, something great's coming, because that's the thing with digital marketing is you got to start quite captivating anyway. But then if you could do it in an intriguing way where something's coming and you're building to it.
I also think an ending is kind of the impact that the ad has on you and what psychological like feelings you have regarding that thing afterwards. Like, is it shocking you? Is it confusion? Is it happiness? Is it sadness?
Yeah.
Like, it's those things that are kind of the ending. So say if you're watching an ad about a hairdryer.
Who? Which one of us?
Drew, you're looking at an ad for a hairdryer.
Okay.
You're seeing...
Not for long, I'm not. Not for long, I'm not.
You're talking about the bald guy or the soon-to-be bald guy?
Jess, you're looking at...
You're just hinting at a Christmas present. Is that all that's happening?
The CTA is to buy the hairdryer, but you're trying to create the feeling of, that looks great. Like, the excitement of having this new hairdryer.
That looks great. The person feels great after having it, after using it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the emotion that the ad's invoking on you. And that kind of is the ending, like the ending that the thing is giving you. So that ad, for example, was the like amazement that it's those things.
It's being impressed, wasn't it? It's trying to challenge people, basically. So that specific ad's trying to challenge people. So afterwards, they're like, fair play. Let's watch the Women's World Cup if they weren't already. I mean, it's that type of thing.
If you really break it down, you think about every ad you've seen that's memorable. It's because of the ending. It's because of the feeling they've left you with the takeaway.
Yeah,
right? That's what you're saying, isn't it, Jess? But that's the point of the psychological impact, basically. Is what impact is it giving you, and like how does that fit into like the CTA, or is that the CTA?
Yeah,
I can't remember if it's Born to be Wild or Greenpeace or one of those like places. But it was an ad about lions in Africa that are bred to just be hunted.
Right.
Watched it in the old office, and I just like immediately just like started donating to them monthly because it just completely got me. Yeah. And I was just like, I gotta donate to this just because it just pulled on my heartstrings. It was a really emotional ad. Yeah. And I remember just having a very unproductive rest of the day. Yeah. Because it's just very, very sad. But that was the point of the ad.
Yeah.
It was, because it's really trying to like show people like how horrific that thing was.
It's leaving you with the emotion and the emotional feeling, isn't it? And it's the same way John Lewis ads work. Yeah. With the Man on the Moon and sending a message and things like that.
Yeah.
There's the Cadbury's ad in the garage right now, isn't there? Cadbury's are doing a lot of family stuff, aren't they?
Yeah.
Gift in a bar, that type of thing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I thought the main guy was Keith Allen. Kept thinking it was Keith Allen. Let's just like him.
Dove have done a few recently with powerful stuff, haven't they? With their anti like filters campaign and stuff like that.
They've been doing it for a few years. All of their ads are very like thought provoking and not necessarily what you'd think about with like a cosmetics sort of brand. Yeah. But that's sort of their differential, isn't it? That's sort of the pure beauty rather than using these filters and loving your own skin, that type of thing.
So the tip here is just do good visual storytelling. Just do that.
Yeah. It is,
just do that, guys.
It is, though, because with all marketing, especially visual marketing, storytelling's key. Everyone says it. You know, when you look at marketing maxims, they're always the same because they hold true. And it's just making sure you tell that story in a compelling way, because then the ending is going to be good. The start's going to be good, but it's going to lead somewhere.
Yeah, definitely.
It's thinking about the emotion that you want to leave your viewers with as well. And I know that comes within the storytelling, but sort of putting an emphasis on how do you want them feeling after they've watched the ad to then go on to purchase or hire you or whatever that next step is.
And moving on to a more modern technique, and it's not a new platform, but it's the short form video on platforms. And it's the loopable element of it. And there you're trying to set up an ending that loops seamlessly. And, you know, it's not to deceive anyone to keep watching.
It's the great ending that never comes.
Yeah. But you don't deceive people watching. And often you'll see one and you'll spot that it's looped and you'll be like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that content is incredibly powerful. So with that, it's you trying to come up with the smart way to loop your content.
Yeah.
Whereabouts is your main bit of messaging? Whereabouts is your CTA?
Yeah.
Your bulk of your messaging's you're probably starting off with some kind of proper clickbaity opening. Yeah. But you're ending with the start of that to get that loop.
Yeah. The big thing is just repeat messaging. So just get your message in there. And if you're looping, you only have to get your message in there 1 or 2 times because it's going to loop and it's going to keep repeat messaging for you, which is lovely.
So obviously loopable content is a great example because it doesn't end. So it's difficult to end strong, but the whole point of it is you're constantly looping. So the end is somewhere within the loop. Yeah. And then with that, you are ending strong by tricking them into the loop, keeping them there, and then constantly planting that same like message or same CTA or the same value maybe within that loopable piece of content. But we do want to end strong. So we're going to talk about a few other examples. And one of them could be like content techniques. Yeah. So for instance, that could be around incorporating interactive elements into your video. It could be around using user-generated content for your video. Yeah. Even if, user-generated content isn't the cornerstone piece of it, that could be a part towards the end of your video. Yeah. Where you're trying to encourage some interactivity, for instance.
Yeah. Coca-Cola's done it plenty of times.
Coca-Cola, yeah.
Nike have done it on a bunch of stuff as well.
What was the Coke one?
Coca-Cola one, it was name on a can, right? It was through that campaign.
Oh, right, yeah. Share a Coke?
Yeah, so for that campaign, they kind of encouraged people to take a photo with their name on a can, or it'd be a friend or a partner's name on the can, sort of share a Coke with that person. And they collected all of those images. And at the end of the campaign, they had a billboard in, was it Times Square? Mm-hmm. I think they had it in Times Square where they collected all of those images and kind of put them all on a billboard. So that was kind of their ending of the campaign. Yeah. There was a reason they was collecting those things. It was cool for people to see their own faces on sort of Times Square billboard.
Yeah, that's Coke. But what could like your average SME do for UGC stuff?
Yeah, I think it depends on what they do themselves. If it was a gym, for instance, there's already a massive wealth of user-generated content that gets created in those places and about those places. Yeah. So I think that would be a really easy business to curate content for campaigns. Yeah. I don't know what campaign it could be, but I assume it would be relatively easy to get that kind of content.
Just got to queue it up, incentivize it, create a nice message that people want to be a part of. Yeah, I guess food suppliers can be, use our ingredient, invent a recipe, that kind of thing.
Yeah, we see a lot with people really with Heck, don't we, who we did some work with. They do a lot on their socials, so they get, various, like, if it's food influencers or even just people online just sharing, like, a new recipe, or even literally just, like, making a sausage carb in the morning, but it's they share a lot of that content. It gives a big community feel, a big family feel.
You and I are big uni boys. You know, when we had our pizza pages going on Insta and stuff, and you'd tag Uni in your posts and they'd share them. Felt amazing. They love user-generated content.
Yeah. I mean, I got shared a couple of times by the uni guys, didn't I?
Yeah, he did.
Almost quit this.
You could even create sort of a hashtag. So things like a coffee shop could have their own hashtag, and you could encourage them to share a picture of their coffee, or if it's cake or something like that. And run competitions, give them a reason to post. Could be you post get them to post for 3 months, and then you pick a winner to get free coffee for a month or something. Give them an incentive that necessarily doesn't cost a lot for you, but encourages the user-generated content, which you can then use for your social media and your content.
Yeah, and if you're a coffee shop and you're looking to create content, you could create a really powerful video marketing campaign, and all it would cost would be the equivalent of 1 coffee a day.
That is how things are worked out these days.
Yeah, so I think for coffee shop owners, it must be really easy. Right?
Yeah, and even some of our, let's call them dry clients. So we've got some very scientific-based L&D clients, and they leverage their community with be involved in the research. Yeah, and so it's lots of questionnaires and things, but they get like an insightful breakdown at the end of the journey. But that actual research forms part of user-generated content.
Yeah, I think when it comes to service-based businesses, the UGC content that you're probably collecting isn't necessarily photographs or videos. No. It's more testimonials, which we'll get on in a minute, but it's more like written word and their input into your sort of feedback and things like that, compared to a product or B2C type businesses who can get sort of people using the product and images of that. Yeah. But testimonials are a great way to sort of end a campaign as well. Yeah. And sort of turn any customers that are in sort of the awareness stage of sort of the funnel into sort of that social proofing and giving them a reason to convert.
It's towards the end of the funnel, towards the end of the arc, isn't it? And it's a similar mentality to why testimonials in remarketing materials work so well. Yeah. Because, that's the final sort of stage where it's peer review. Yeah. Almost but it's UGC. So they're creating it. Yeah.
And obviously testimonials they kind of sit hand in hand, but the testimonials can come through the UGC. So say you go back to the coffee shop example that we had. Yeah. If you've got images of people chatting about how good your coffee is, it sort of sits and gives you content, but also that testimonial and that social proof that you guys are great and people should go and sit in your coffee shop.
Yeah, testimonials are great, and we're visual guys, so we love a video testimonial. But what tips would we give people if they're trying to get a good video testimonial done for their service, campaign, product, whatever?
Yeah, I think it's about keeping it brief. I think testimonials can run a bit too long. Yeah. If you're reading a review online, like let's say you want to go to a new restaurant and you're reading reviews, you don't want to go on TripAdvisor and read like a 10-page review. No. You just want to see 5 stars and you want to see some really clear points. Yeah. Like if I want to go to, like if I want to try a specific dish at this place, I want to see that get mentioned. Yeah, yeah. If it's pizzas, for instance, I want to know it's like stone baked. I want to know it's an authentic Neapolitan style or something like that. You want pictures of it? Say again, sorry?
You want pictures of it?
I want pictures of it. Yeah, that's why you want the visual side of it, don't you? Exactly. Yeah. So I think try and embody that style in your testimonials. You can keep them longer because it will be more engaging than just a short written post on TripAdvisor. Yeah. It's video. It's immediately, it will be a bit more engaging.
You can also edit it. So you can go longer, can't you?
But the idea is, try and keep it relatively brief. Kind of treat it like it's all almost CTA in the sense of everything, ideally, everything you're putting in it could be cut into like a 15-second soundbite and be used as a 15-second soundbite potentially. Yeah. Or could you just literally use part of that transcript of it as a testimonial, written testimonial on your website? Try and keep everything on
We've had
target.
that with a healthcare company. We shot their recruitment videos and it had testimonials within that from the people that worked there. And then, excerpts from that appeared in posters, right? And cinema chains and stuff.
I guess if you want to like future-proof it as well, or like try and get as much life out of a testimonial as possible, there's different ways where there's a different place a testimonial could sit, a video testimonial. So for instance, it could be somewhere at the top of the funnel where people don't really know about the solution you're offering, So in that sense, you really want to set up the entire thing with them a testimonial. Why did that client, what problem was that client having?
Yeah.
What solution did you offer? How did it help? How do they feel now?
Yeah.
How do they feel now? What impact has it had, etc. But then from there, you can just have what impact has it had? Because if you're sat further along with, along in that funnel, if you're sat further down in that funnel and you already know what solutions this company offers, you want to know the impact it's going to have. So you can just have that. So try and set up the whole story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and keep it super tight, as tight as you possibly can. And also differentiate with your visuals. Don't just have a person talking to camera.
Yeah.
Like try and show, don't tell.
Yeah.
So for instance, let's go back to the gym thing. Like within it, maybe have like B-roll of people. If it's like a personal trainer, for instance, you're pushing it. If it's testimonials for a personal trainer, push like B-roll around that.
Yeah.
Push B-roll around people working out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's showing the space. I don't know. Rob, you chime in. You're a gym guy.
Well, you can use the visuals to add the drama, can't you? You know, with gym stuff, it's if you're visually storytelling, it's showing the pain and suffering and then showing the end results and the ease that it gets to and the transformation as well that you want to see there. Because the transformation is what makes the best video testimonials anyway. Because if I mentioned the remarketing principle, and that's why they work so well.
Yeah.
Because at that stage, they've already seen what you can do. They've already seen how you can do. What they need to see now to turn them into a customer is to see the impact it's going to have on them.
Yeah.
So tell that story and get the person who's in the testimonial to say what position they were in, you know, what was wrong with that, how you helped them overcome it, and then where they are now. Because the potential customer will be able to see themselves in that. They'll see themselves having the same problems and the same issues, and they'll be reassured that you can solve it.
Yeah.
And that will make a killer testimonial.
Yeah. And I think as well, gym testimonials work especially well because they're testimonials on steroids.
And it sounds obvious, but sort of having the testimonial scripted, or at least having those key points written down for the person that's delivering the testimonial to sort of cover. So the things like you were saying, the pain points that you're trying to relate to and the impact you're trying to deliver. Yeah. Because I've watched some testimonials in the past where you can tell it's not scripted, which in some cases is great. It's sort of off the cuff and you can tell it's natural. Yeah. But they aren't necessarily delivering the information you want them to deliver. They're just saying, company X is great. They helped us. Perfect, would work with them and work with them again. They're delivering nothing. They're delivering no real value other than it's company B talking about company A.
The worst ones are like, oh, great bunch of guys.
And those things are great. You need to be able to cover certain points. And I'm not saying you write the testimonial for that person. It needs to come from them. You don't want to put words in their mouth. You want the story to come from them. Yeah. But at least have those key points that you're trying to deliver.
I think the issue is a lot of people think if you just film enough, you can edit anything. Yeah. And it's kind of true. But at the same time, especially with something like testimonials, where it almost is user generated, it's not because most of the time, well, if we're doing it, for instance, it's not because we're doing it, we're professionals, we're creating it, not the user. But it is kind of user generated content in a sense where you're trying to get those really honest answers where it doesn't matter about the production value for their answers. The production values help because obviously there's that level of like trust and stuff.
Brand trust,
blah, 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 blah. All the other reasons why you should use professional creative agencies. Yeah. But the point is, and because it is that user generated content, I get that people want that idea of if we film loads, we can edit stuff. Yeah. But I think because if something's super overly edited, it then feels a bit disingenuous. Yeah. And then because of that, I think what you want ideally is you kind of are scripting it because it is still visual storytelling. So what you want is you want to have this big list of key points you want to hit, almost like you are writing the script for them. And then from that, you can ask questions because what questions will get to those bits?
That gets the benefits of both. You get natural answers of a Q&A. You know, these people aren't trained presenters. So you make them feel relaxed and you can talk to them and they'll give you a natural answer, but you're guiding them. Yeah. And in your mind, you've got the best version of this video. So even if they give you the right answer, but it's long, you can get them to paraphrase it. You can say, oh, it's great. I think you would say, we'll do it again. If you could just make it a bit shorter, because I think you was talking about this, and you basically give them a nice version of their answer back to them and they can give it you back.
Okay, yeah. So I think testimonials is a really good point around possibly the end of a campaign or just after.
Yeah.
We're talking about ending on a high. You could end with testimonials.
Yeah.
But also, if you're ending on a high, you're probably then getting great testimonials because of that.
Yeah.
Or ideally, you're getting that. Or it could be you've got testimonials from a previous thing and you're using those testimonials right at the very end of your campaign. So you're then ending on a high with those testimonials. Either way, they're a really important piece of of everyone's marketing campaigns, I'd say. And I think it's also a great place to end the pod. And not just the pod.
The
season 2.
Yeah. Oh, highlights from the season?
Highlights from the season. Oh. On that note, guys, let's get ready for season 3, shall we?
And we promised a big ending. We're going to do a bit of a dance number.
3, 2, 1, hit it.